Hello and welcome back from fall break. Today we're going to start our unit on polynomials. And polynomials are similar to quadratics in the fact that they are a collection of x squared, x's, numbers. In fact, a quadratic is a type of polynomial, just one where we haven't gone past the second power just yet. Polynomials and what we're going to talk about is going on to, it could be the third power, it could be the fourth power, it could be technically all the way up to whatever power I might want to have. And our goal for this entire unit, this 3-week span that we're going to be focusing on, is being able to take a polynomial and break it up into what are the factors. We actually did this with quadratics. We did some factoring. Today we're going to review factoring. But our main point for factoring was so that we could find solutions. Because if I have this and I factored it down into x minus 2, x plus 5, and x plus 1, that means what I could do is I could solve it. I could solve when does all of this equal 0. Well, to do that, I would say, well, this one equals 0, the second equals 0, and etc., etc. For quadratics, there were just 2 of them. For polynomials, there may be 3, 4, 5, etc. And the number of factors we have would determine how many solutions that we have. We also want to talk about how we can graph these polynomials. Now, if I'm looking at a graph, quadratics always had where it went up and went down. That was because it was a second power, and that meant that there's 2 directions, one up and one down. That happened for every single quadratic. As we start getting into larger polynomials, the number of turns is actually determined by what is our power going to be. So a third power would go up, down, and up. That's 3 directions. That means it would be a third power. I encourage you, as we're looking at some of these examples, when we get into our problem, to have Desmos on your computer, have your graphing calculator out, and look at these pictures so that you can see where are some of these connections going to be. What are these numbers that we solve for down here from our factors? Where do they show up on our graph? The numbers that are in our actual equation, where do they show up on our graph? Because we will start seeing some patterns. In general, this unit, there are 3 main things we want to be able to find in the end result of taking our original polynomial and being able to graph it. And those 3 things are, we want to, 1, look at the factors of our polynomial, break it up into its parentheses. Number 2, find what are the x-intercepts, the places where it actually crosses my x-axis on my graph. And then 3, what is my y-intercept? Where does it cross the y-axis on my graph? Once we can find those points, whether it's graphically or mathematically, we're going to be able to graph any polynomial that's given to us. And that's our goal here for these 3 weeks in our unit.